But we have a very serious situation developing now in the Middle East as 7 Iranian ships have been attacked and are ablaze. All 7 ships on fire, and actually it could even be more. We have some conflicting reports. It's a very fluid situation, but it is on. What I've begun to realize here, and this comes after, just days after the USS Bonhomme Richard was set ablaze in the San Diego harbor there at the U.S. Naval Base in San Diego, and we're still not sure what caused that. I'm very suspicious that that was some type of an attack on that ship that put 57 sailors in the hospital, and some of them are still in the hospital. But either way, something is happening. Let me just put a shout out real fast. I'm going to read to you. I'm going to give you the 3 different. We got the Baghdad Post, we got the Jerusalem Post, we got Depka File, we've got some other, nothing's in the mainstream media right now, but the United States had warned Iran of dire consequences, and that was by one of the top generals in the United States, who had already made this announcement yesterday. So look out. Did the United States, are we at war with Iran? Let me put a shout out right now for, if I can, I'm having trouble here with my eyesight, so I'm struggling a little bit here. But just give me 1 second. I'll find out where my eye, where I can see it. Just I'm a little bit my bad. Okay, on that. I was wanting to get this information. Here we go. agewithpaul.com. That's www.agewithpaul.com. Of course, everybody knows this now, but turmeric and other superfoods. The incident followed a string of mysterious explosions in Iran's nuclear, military, and missile production sites during the last 2 weeks, of which nobody knows who did those. Was it the United States? Was it Israel? Was it Saudi Arabia? Was it the United Arab Emirates? Or was it a consortium of all of them? Was the Mossad, the CIA involved? Well, listen to this. According to reports, if this suspected campaign of sabotage has been extended now, folks, to encompass Iran's Navy. It would be a serious escalation, amounting to a threat to Iran's claim to control the Persian Gulf and its waters. The Bushehr port in Iran, Providence, is also home to Iran's only nuclear power plant. I remember reporting on this 5-6 years ago when it was the Bushehr nuclear plant was built by the Russians for $1 billion. And Obama in the Iranian nuclear deal freed up that plant to restart up again with centrifuges enriching uranium. And so that was all part of that deal. So some of you may remember that back in 2015. I covered it back then. Well, the Bushehr Providence is also home to Iran's only nuclear power plant. A day earlier, yesterday, U.S. Central Command Chief General Kenneth McKenzie warned Iran for any malign activities in the Gulf would bear a high cost. That was yesterday. Our top U.S. Central Command Chief General Kenneth McKenzie warned the Iranians that anything you guys are doing that's malign activities in the Gulf will bear a high cost. He said that yesterday. What happens today? In an interview, though, sponsored by the State Department, he reminded Iran of the events of January when a U.S. drone killed the top Iranian general Qassem Soleimani. So we are postured, he said, and will continue to be postured in the region, working closely with our partners, all our friends in the region to ensure.
All of praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Baha Hashem Yahushai, Baha Hashem Rakaha Kadash, Eda Bahana to Zelda, the apostle of Giltimiston, who do well, who taught us this 100% truth according to the scripture. A peace, a blessing, and salutation to you, Akiam, who are pushing these truths to the four winds of the heaven, and being on the forefront of this spiritual war to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise here on earth again. It is another news. From this channel is a so-called Paul Begley, Pastor Paul Begley. He did breaking news in which 7 Iranian ships were set in flame after an attack. You see, and this happened right after the American, what do you call the American ship also was set on fire. Light is there on the military base. If I'm not mistaken, it is somewhere in California. See. It is in, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it is in Santiago. It is in Santiago. That ship was set on fire, man. You see, so this is just a speculation. This is just a speculation that the American and their counterpart, they responded by setting on fire 7 Iranian ships. And then not only that, all Iranian nuclear facility and everything, man, nuclear oil refinery and all the infrastructure of Iran, which gives them the power to go against the American presence on the Middle East, was set on fire. You see, just is a step which is taken by America and his ally to invade Iran, you see, and that's where you get audio 3 really, because you have the scene we see the state of Israel. They consider Iran as a street to them. As long as Iran is there, you see, they won't have a peaceful existence over there in the Middle East. And to speak on a grand on a grand scale, you see, on a grand scheme, this elite, they have what they call, they want to establish the so-called the whole Israel, and the whole Israel will consist of the borders which are written in Genesis. See, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he gave Abraham the land of Canaan, not only the land of Canaan, but up to the river Euphrates and going all the way to Middle East, man. That's why you see them Amalekites, they attacked Egypt, they attack Somalia, they attack Syria, they attack Lebanon. That is a quest of this Illuminati to establish the so-called Holy Israel. And that's where the new world, it will be a center of the new world order. And that's why they want to build the so-called temples. This whole world will be ruled from Jerusalem. That is part of the new world order agenda. And that is after everything, you see, the mark of the beast, what you see, come to pass, and the elite come out of their bank. See, they are going to establish the so-called Holy Israel, man. And really, it all boils down to the blessing, man. You see, to the blessing. You see, so Esau wanted to take everything which is ours. That's why he is going to a length to conquer them Arab, man. You see, it is beyond just oil and resource. You see, it is beyond just oil and resource. It is a thing we see as a birthright. You see, everything here on earth in which Esau would do, it really geared up to him reclaiming back his birthright. You see, his birthright, and that's where he wanted that land, man, that whole land. You see, not only just the state of Israel, man. It is much, much, much bigger. That's why you see they are setting Iran ablaze right here, see, and Iran responded, and so all of this will boil down into the so-called WW3. You see, WW3. This is Job 20 and verse 23. To say when he is about to fill his belly, and we know that ain't gonna come to pass. The thing with him or Esau Edom. When I say him, I mean Esau Edom, establishing the whole Israel by him conquering Egypt, conquering them Arab, Assyria, Iran. That ain't gonna happen because that is part of him filling his belly. The Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of the steel shall strike him through. When he is about to fulfill what he is thinking, it is enough for him to take the birthright from us. That's where the Lord will rain a nuclear weapon, man. The bow of steel, if you will. The bow of steel. Let's go on, see. Let's go on. And let's go to Isaiah 9 and 5. For every bet of a warrior is with confused knowing in a garment rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and a fuel of fire. That's why we know the bow steel, it was talking about the nuclear missiles, man. Because this war, the third war, it will be with burning fuel. And that way the fuel goes back to them nuclear missiles, man. You see? So when Esau is about to fulfill his new world order, and really his new world order simply boiled down to him taking our estate, man, taking our place as the rulers of this earth, and in order to do that, Esau will rule from Jerusalem. You see, the headquarters of the new world order won't be in China, England, or America. Esau will do away with the present order. The meaning of a new world order is Esau is going to establish a whole another new world, man, in which he will do away with the old world order, which include China, Russia, Britain, and America, man. And this is them G20s, man. In Esau's new world order, there won't be G20, there won't be EU, there won't be NATO, in which we know that ain't gonna come to pass. I'm just explaining to you so that you can understand what is the driving force behind Esau conquering the Arab over the expense of nuclear war. You see, these Edomites are very afraid of WW3, but what makes them keep on going, man, you see, is because they want that land in which Abraham was given, man. And you see, let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. This is Genesis Genesis 15 and verse 18. In the same days the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai made a covenant with Abraham, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land from the river of Ethiopia. Where is the river of Ethiopia? This is talking about the Nile River. You see, onto the great river, the river Euphrates. So the great Israel, or the great state of Israel, will be from Egypt up to the Euphrates, and that includes the Persian Gulf, that includes Jordan, that includes Lebanon, and some part of what do you call it, Midian, the ancient Midian. It have another name nowadays. I don't quite remember right now. It is called the Yemen. Yemen. That's why this Mossad and them Zionists, their thing is to reclaim this land, this whole land. That plan is known as the Great Holy Israel. That's part of the New World Order, man. You see? And Esau, at that time, everybody will be chipped, man. And everybody will be going to worship them elite there in the land of Israel as gods, man. You see? That's how Esau is insane, man. This devil is insane, man. You see? But what we know, this foolish plan will lead into WW3, and that's what I'm reading here, Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day comes that shall burn as an oven, and all the plowed, you see, the plow. Who is that? That is Esau, man. He wants to take our land, he wants to take our birthright, he wants to take everything from us just by using carnality. You see, conquering and conquering and conquering. And all that do wickedly shall be stubborn. The day that comes shall burn them up, says the Lord of hosts, that shall leave them neither root or branch. That's going to, not only Esau will be beaten via some nuclear weapon, also Esau will be exterminated. That's why the scripture tell you it will leave not him root or branch. This is Habakkuk 25. Yeah, therefore, because he transgressed by wine, that's what caused him to believe he is superior, caused him to believe he can be God, man. He is whiny. That's going to his philosophy. And he is a proud man, neither keepers at home, who enlarge his desire. You see, Esau is not satisfied of what Yahweh Hashem shall give him, and because Esau was given the dew of the heaven by the way of the sword, he is not satisfied with that. He wants to take our place, man. He wants to be God, man. He wants to be the judge of this earth for eternity, man. And by doing that, he wanted to do away with the nation of Israel, man, who enlarged his desires heavily as death and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heaps unto him all people. Shall not all this take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, say, woe to him that increases that which is not his, how long, and to him that ladles himself with thick clay? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, including Iran, them Ishmaelite, and all of these other nations? They will rise up against him and bite him, and their work that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them. So that is a prophecy in which tell you the plan of these devils, man, won't come to pass. Going back to Jeremiah 51:1, that says the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that is, I rise up against me a destroying wind. That's going to them nuclear missiles, man. And they will send unto Babylon furnace and missiles that will fan her, and they shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. So the day is coming, man. The day is coming in which this beach will be in distress, man, against him that bendeth, let the ark bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in the brigand, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldean, they shall thrust through in her street. See? So the day is coming, man, when this devil will be in his threat, man. You see, when he is about to fill his belly, you see, the Lord will cast see an iron weapon on him. Let's repeat that verse, man. Job 20 and 23. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai shall cast a fury of his wrath upon him, and shall lay upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Is it drawn and come out of the body? Yea, as a glittering sword comes out of his gall, the missiles, man, tear upon him. All darkness shall be hid in secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him, man, because the missiles, man, the missiles, they undergo what we call a chain reaction, man. You don't need to add some kind of chemicals to make the missile burn, man. They burn in their own through the so-called chain of reaction. When the missiles explode in a chain of reaction, man. That is called nuclear fission or nuclear fusion, man. You see, a fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. It's going to this elite, man. You see, and the heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. That's going to, and now, man, the whole race is rising against Esau, Edom, man. And this year have been a good year because this elite are being exposed, man. You see, back in the day, 2 years ago, I couldn't even imagine to see this in my life, man. You see, I could scarcely envision them being exposed, man. But now I live through it. I know Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is faithful, man, and you gotta believe to that power. And no matter what you are going through, man, you must believe in that power, man. And everyone here of you, the hopeful elect, everybody is going through his head, man. You see, so there is no excuse at the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, there is no excuse for you. So continuing with Esau, I'll see. Continuing with Esau, this is Joel 3. See. Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. That's what is going on, man. This nation, they know Esau's plan about conquering the Middle East and setting up himself as God, in which everybody will be like cattle under him, and they know, man. That's why they are preparing for war. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshare into sword and your pruning hook into spear. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Karibu. You see, so that's what is going on. You assemble yourself and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourself together round about. Hither causes a mighty one to come down, your Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So that's what is going on, man. You see. So I wanted to do a short report about what is going on with Iran. I hope you brothers were edified. On to the next. Shalom.